Hello and welcome back everybody. It's Complicated Relationships Reddit Stories. Hope you guys are safe and healthy. Now let's see what the story is about today. Finding incriminating text confirming that your wife is having a secret relationship with a colleague is really bad. How do you come out of such a marriage as a stronger person? Let's hear all about it in this story. Also, if you like my content, please give this video a thumbs up and do subscribe to the channel.
Here is a little background. My wife and I are both 28 years old and have been together for 13 years. We started dating when we were roughly 16, never broke up, and got married 3 years ago. We had the kind of relationship that others were jealous of, and everyone always expected us to get married when we were younger. Over the past year and a half to 2 years, things started changing between us. Some issues came up with her family, and she started to become more and more distant, both emotionally and physically, starting being super protective of her phone and grew closer and closer with a male coworker. Long story short, I snooped. Yes, I know this is bad, but I wanted to check her phone because I had a feeling something was going on based off a variety of factors and found incriminating texts confirming that she was having a secret relationship with this guy. When I confronted her early September, she owned up to it, saying that it had been going on for a year. They had been having relations in our home, doing it in the bedroom that would eventually be the room where our future children slept.
She apologized, saying that it would never happen again, and I told her that in order for us to move on, I need her to have no contact with the coworker.
2 months later, and they are still talking occasionally, with her saying it is unfair of me to ask her to not talk to someone she considers a close friend. I honestly don't know what to do at this point. I am trying to see if I can move on, but I feel like I can never trust her again. I feel like her choosing to be in touch with him still shows that she is choosing their relationship over ours. I am just totally torn on what my gut is telling me. She also told me to not tell any of our friends what is going on, so I don't even have someone to talk to. Sorry, this was a bit of a rant, but it's the first time I have written it all out, and I really do not know how to proceed or how to cope with this.
OP is going to call the lawyer tomorrow. He spoke to him a few weeks ago to see how he says OP should approach the situation. Now here is the first update.
After posting here a little over a month ago and reading all of your advice, I called my lawyer, told my parents and some close friends what was going on, and told my wife that I wanted a divorce. She begged and pleaded, promising to make things better and cut off contact with the AP. We spent all weekend together with her promising things, saying and doing all the right things. I did not fully believe her, but I was willing to give her one more chance to try and save what I thought we had. Things were fine, we were more or less just coexisting for about a month, but she was on her phone a lot less and being more attentive to me. Well, 2 weekends ago, she handed me her phone to show me something, and I suspiciously swiped up on her open apps, and there she was, talking to her AP on Insta. I flipped out, and she promised he just messaged her, and she told him that she could not talk. This was blatantly false, as I read their conversation, and they were discussing what they were each doing that night. I was again fooled, lied to, and deceived. She told me she would finally block him, but wanted to say goodbye since he was a friend. I said that it was inexcusable, and that she had to cut off contact and block him right then, which she said she would. 2 days later, I asked if she had blocked him, and she had not yet.
End of the long conversation. OP told her right on the spot that they are getting a divorce and they can either go through mediation if she agrees to every single thing that he wants, or he can get his lawyer to get involved and he will get whatever he wants anyway.
She agreed to mediation, and we are beginning that process shortly. It took me some time to get there, longer than it probably should have, but I finally have enough respect for myself to put an end to this and go find the life of happiness that I deserve. She still tries to make me feel bad about all of this, blaming me to a degree and telling me how awful of a situation I am putting her in. But I reminded her that it was her actions that caused this, not mine, and that she has to live with the consequences of her actions. I have also begun telling more friends about what happened, along with the rest of my family.
This is not how OP ever saw his life going, but he knows that this is a blessing in disguise and he will end up with someone who will truly make him happy. Here is the final update.
So, after telling my soon-to-be ex-wife that we were getting a divorce, the gaslighting went into overdrive, blaming me, telling me that it is my fault that I am doing this to us, that I am giving up on our marriage, that it is really sad that I am letting our relationship end this way, and that I am going to take away the home that our dog knows, etc. I stood strong, didn't let her get to me, and went through with divorce mediation. Mediation was smooth, she agreed to everything that I wanted, and I received notice from the courts yesterday that I am a free man. We sold the house within 3 months of starting mediation. She moved out 1 month prior to closing on the house. The gaslighting continued while living together, waiting for the house to sell, with her continuing to blame me and telling me that I am mean because I refused to let her speak at all, and countless other things that only a truly crazy individual would think to be true, given the situation. After I sold the house, I moved back to my parents for a few months to collect myself and just figure out what to do with my life. I started weekly therapy and was able to reflect on the relationship, seeing how toxic and one-sided everything was, how I was the one always putting myself second and sacrificing my happiness to try to tolerate her and her unrealistic needs and expectations. My therapist suggests that it sounds like she has borderline personality disorder, which is a condition that runs in her family, and it makes total sense. I was also able to, and continue to, work on underlying issues that allowed me to get into such a toxic relationship, and I feel at this point like I will be able to identify the warning signs.
OP recommitted to his physical health as well, losing 15 pounds over the last 3 months and getting back into running, currently training for a 10K.
Early this month, I moved into my own place in New York City. I'm reconnecting with friends who I lost touch with, and I've started dating for the first time in my life, albeit pretty unsuccessfully at this point. Plus, I got a promotion at work a few weeks ago that I worked my tail off for. I am mentally, physically, emotionally, and financially in a better place than I have been in years, and her showing me her true colors by having this secret relationship was the greatest favor she could have done for me. I still have not told all of our mutual friends about what my ex did, as I was afraid she would get angry and tank mediation. But now that the divorce is final, I will be notifying everyone in our lives as to who she is and what she did.
Guess all this was just a long-winded way of saying that things can get better.
There is nothing wrong with any of us because we were cheated on, and to try to use this as a launching point for you making yourself better and working to make yourself the best possible person. This is going to be my last significant post here, most likely, as I don't think my journey of healing has come to an end. It's just come to a new chapter, and dwelling on what my ex did to me is not worth it. Thank you again for all the support.
We have reached to the end of the story. I just can't understand the mindset of these women. They go around sleeping with other men for years, and when they are caught, they blame their husbands for not giving them second chances. Even if the wives stay faithful from there onward, they still had lots of fun that they can be happy about. But what fun did the husbands get? In cases like this, the husbands should be given an open marriage on their side only for at least a year just to be fair. Well, OP, cut yourself a break. If you all were together for 13 years and you are 29, that means you met her at 16. You are not mature enough to see all the red flags in your relationship. It's good that you are working on such things now. But don't blame yourself for not being as mature at the age of 16 as you are now. You thought after all of that time together that you knew her. No, you did not. She thought that she knew you and could control you. Turns out she didn't know anything. Well done wrapping things up so well. With your improved fitness and everything, you are now fully primed for your next chapter in life. You are a shining example on how to deal with a cheating spouse. As for your dating, don't worry, you will get better at it. Trust me on that. You seem to be doing just great. Keep working on yourself. Good luck to you. Before we go, let's listen to a community comment and the answer by OP.
Connect Peanut 7308 says, This will be an unpopular opinion here. Well, it's good for you to get out of this relationship, but I am having doubts about how your therapist came to conclusion about your partner having BPD without having any sessions with her, or how do you know it runs in her family? Personality disorders are serious issues and people need help with it. It takes some time for them to recover, and if her BPD is real and untreated, a lot of her actions, which you stated, are not something she can control if she hasn't been in therapy. I wouldn't suggest for you to go to HR and other people to drag her. You are hurt, you should focus on yourself. As someone who works in neuroscience, I feel sorry for both of you. I feel sorry for you for having your trust broken, and for her, because this thing, if true, untreated, can make her take decisions which is against her own morals, and due to severe emotional instability, anxiety, and depression they face. I fail to understand why would you do this to a person with MHD though? It does not show you in a good light either, or any less hurtful. It shows that you really do have issues too. I've been betrayed on, left by ex-fiancé in the time I needed them the most, and my decency isn't dependent on their terrible actions. I think you need therapy to work on yourself too. Good luck. OP's reply. Just to be totally clear, I am not going to be putting this on social media and telling every single person in the world. I'm going to tell my close friends on what is going on in my life. If she is collateral damage along the way, there is nothing I can do about it. Everything I am sharing is 100,000% fact. No feelings, no additions. XYZ is what happened. Secondly, I should have been clearer. My therapist said that while he cannot actually diagnose her, a lot of the behaviors I mentioned sound like someone who could be suffering from BPD. I know her mother was diagnosed with it because we were still happily married when the diagnosis came down. Third, I have suggested and practically begged her for years to go to therapy, both individual and couples, and she was unwilling. She is a mental health professional herself and thinks she knows better than everyone. There is nothing that I can do to force her to go, especially now. While yes, I understand that if she is really mentally ill, then a lot of her actions aren't her fault or whatever, but that doesn't mean there aren't consequences.
Thank you all for listening. Please like, comment and share the video if you enjoyed it. Also, subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon so you will be notified when we upload the next video. Take care.